The time for empty talk is over.
It's going to be great.
Yo guys, what's going on, and welcome back to episode 6 of the Pint&Politics YouTube podcast. Got a great guest today, and Billy. How you doing, Billy?
I'm very well, man.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Billy. I'm on the same politics course as these guys.
Bit of a theme going on.
Yeah, I think I'm not the first Southerner you've had on.
Oh, Gav.
You
Gav
had
was the
Gav.
first one.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm here representing the southeast.
Cambridge.
Cambridge. Big up Cambridge.
Cambridge, that's the
And yeah, thank you for having me today. You've given me a beer as well, zero brew. So
6%?
Well, it's 6%, but it pitches itself as 94% alcohol free. So
oh, very nice.
Yeah, so
I've had a 6%.
I mean, that's a bit misleading if you ask me.
For beer 52, so
yeah,
they sent you more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I've got cheers.
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 So I've got St. Austell tribute. One of the viewers will definitely like the look at this one from back home. £1.82 from Asda. So
£1.82.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised when I saw that.
Cheap as shit. Right, here's a question. Right, what's the average pint cost in Cambridge?
In central Cambridge, it's proper touristy, so it'll be about £5 for a pint. Obviously, having lived there, I know the cheaper places.
Yeah.
But you'll never find one for less than £3, I'd say.
Yeah.
£3 is reasonable.
£3 is
that's
reasonable, but that's not the norm. That's like a couple places.
So I went to London about 2 or 3 months ago, and the cheapest pint, I said to her, right, what's the cheapest pint you've got? £4.60 for a Foster's.
Yeah.
And I was
that's
fucking
London.
Oh, jeez.
That's why I'm quite enjoing being up north. Yeah, it's a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Get 2 pints for the price of one. It's a piece of piss, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like Prague a bit, well, not quite, but
Yeah.
Interesting. With Cambridge, it's a tiny little red bubble. A tiny little paper bubble in this little sea of fucking blue that takes up the entire southeast.
from blue from all the way from Cambridge to London. Really.
Yeah, so I expect it's the Tories putting the prices up, to be fair. Yeah,
absolutely bastards. So what are you drinking today, lad?
And then I'm on the 0% alcohol. Literally, it's at the back of my fridge. If I don't drink it, it's just going to stay there until I enter uni. And that's it, literally.
Yeah.
But, right, quick question then. So you said that Cambridge is this little red dot, right, in the sea of blue. Why do you think that is?
I think, well, it's always been quite a left-leaning city. I think it's places like that and sort of Oxford as well. It's just sort of a lot of intelligentsia there. Yeah. It's call it the fucking metropolitan liberal elite, whatever you want. It's a lot of people that have come from London.
Yeah. It's like progressive university city.
It's super progressive. It sort of flip-flops between Labour and Lib Dem. But you'll never see it going Tory, I hope. But it's
you spoil it.
It's a very progressive city. Yeah.
Are you a Labour Party member?
I am a Labour Party member. Yeah.
See again, another Labour Party member. We're not fully right-wing nut jobs.
Two in a row for 2 podcasts. Brilliant.
Nice balance of opinions. That's what you want.
Exactly. Hopefully, right, this time we don't agree on everything like we did with Yona.
What did he talk about that you agreed on?
I think it.
Don't watch our videos.
Like how
I watched the first 10 minutes.
No, and then switched off.
Talking like House of Lords and stuff.
The Labour leadership
stuff. To be fair, that was just Yona explaining it.
Yeah.
I think
that took up most of the podcast. To be fair.
Like interventionist kind of stuff across the world. I
think
coronavirus.
We should bring up some more divisive issues, perhaps.
Okay.
That we're less likely to agree on.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a very interesting one if we just sat here going,
I agree with that. Move on.
Well, one thing we can start with then. So again, you've lived out in the United States, haven't you?
Yeah. I grew up in
You've been everywhere.
Boston, Massachusetts.
That's right. Yeah.
What age were you then?
I moved there when I was 7, and then moved to Cambridge, back here to Cambridge, when I was 14. So grew up, spent most of my childhood there. Yeah. Obviously wasn't super, paying attention to politics at the time.
Yeah, not like that.
But I do like, Massachusetts is again like this nice little sort of
beautiful
liberal place. It's pretty. It's always gone Democrat pretty much. And I guess you could put that up to the same thing as I was talking about earlier. You've got Harvard and MIT.
The colleges.
Exactly. You've got all of these really well-known universities there.
Yeah.
And I think that just sort of brings a left-wing.
Yeah, most of the prestigious colleges around that area of the country anyway.
And they've legalised weed there, so
have they?
Yeah, mate.
How many states have legalised it?
I don't know the exact number, but it's
California have.
It's about a third, I'd say. It's like quite a good number.
It's not just half. I think it should be a bit below, but they're still progressing anyway.
It was very strange there, walking around Boston and sort of, just walking down the street, I get a whiff of weed. I'm like, oh, someone's smoking weed, and then it takes 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh no, it's legal here. Like they don't need to try and hide it.
It's just one thing I don't get about like I kind of get the right wing opposition to it on like a religious kind. I understand it.
Evangelical
I don't understand the religious opposition to it. Where
do you know
thou shalt not smoke weed.
Ten Commandments.
Thou shalt not bung their
kind of like
spliffs.
you know that kind of like conservative kind of.
Yeah.
I kind of get when even though I disagree, I understand like their opinions. But I don't get like right wingers disagreeing it from an economic standpoint.
No, the economic argument makes no sense. There's really not many arguments you can make against it, to be honest. I mean...
Is it Colorado's made $1 billion in tax revenue?
Colorado's made a shit ton of money.
Canada's made so much money for legalising it. So what's your view on it then? Are you for legalising
fully
it?
libertarian, couldn't give a shit if you use it.
Just one less thing the state has influence on, I suppose, for you.
Exactly,
just income, really.
That's the thing. And again, it's fucking taxable. Like,
it's taxable.
Yeah,
it's
great business. Come on.
Some countries are doing absolutely doing wonders off it. Anyway,
we're
not.
Why do you think Amsterdam's such a tourist hub? You know, people are going there for
some reason.
I think I'm going at Christmas. To be fair,
I'm going in like a couple of weeks. I'm well excited, but I
we know what we get up to in our spare time.
Speaking, I like that as we're talking about this. That just happens to be the time.
It's 4:20.
It's 4:20. Amazing. Couldn't time that better.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, if this is just something we're going to agree on, we don't need to get fully into it. But it's something I'm quite passionate about.
Anyway,
I have started a campaign with my friends in London called Grassroots UK on Facebook.
Play on words, I love it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
I love the way
I was very happy when I came up with that, actually.
That's it.
Yeah, but it's basically campaigning to legalise marijuana and decriminalise, if not legalise, all other drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, I don't know. What's your
view? You know my view.
I know your view. So, I am for the legalisation of marijuana, cannabis. But other drugs, something doesn't sit right with me. Because obviously, drugs like cocaine, meth, all them sorts, I think they should be
okay.
I think they should be. What would you say?
Still
not legalised. That was decriminalised.
Still be banned. Still be criminalised.
Banned. That's the one. Like Class A and all that.
Yeah.
I think they should be. But some magic mushrooms.
Do you mean like stuff kind of like heroin level?
Oh yeah. I think that needs to stay as it is. I think that's far too dangerous to be going out there.
But what do you think banning it achieves? Because it's currently banned, and you're not seeing heroin usage go down.
Yeah.
Because it'll make it more. I think for me, it'll make it more accessible to people, like more vulnerable people, and it's because I've obviously never taken that.
Wink, wink.
It's just if you get one. Apparently, from what I've heard, it's very addictive, and it's really difficult to get off, and something just doesn't sit right. You know what I mean?
It has been shown over and over again that it's not a chemical hook that brings people back.
Yeah.
It is
Is it euphoric?
No, it's not even. It's nothing to do with sort of to do with the feeling of it. But the thing is, the reason you see sort of, homeless drug addicts and people in like really bad places getting addicted to drugs is because they have nothing else in their life. So they take heroin, they feel fucking great.
But there's always another way out. There's always another way out.
They forget about where they are in the situation they're in.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's the same reason you see like alcoholism, whatever. It's any drug.
Alcoholism.
That is.
That's why we create the podcast. But the thing is, I think alcohol is more. I think you might both agree, but alcohol is pretty dangerous. Like compared to marijuana, it's like
it's the most lethal drug in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's so accessible. And there's literally hardly any like.
Well, that's the thing. You can kill yourself with a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
You can just have one stupid night, and you end up dead.
Yeah.
So. That is very true. But I found that if you legalise something or decriminalise it, say, you are then able to support people who already or will get addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
So they've done this in Portugal and Switzerland, where
Switzerland tested the drugs before you do it, don't they?
it's not even that. It's not. They will provide it for you.
Fucking
They
hell.
will give you heroin. So like because basically I can't remember exactly when this was. I think it was in the 90s, maybe 2000s. But they had this massive heroin addiction problem, and there were people like lying around in public parks,
Yeah.
you know, just taking heroin, and you know, the Swiss are very, you know, they pretty much invented clocks, like watches and stuff. They are very like, they want things to be clean, they want them to be perfect. So they realised this was a massive problem, and they realised something else would have to be done. You can't keep punishing an addict.
Yeah.
That's gonna have an adverse effect. That's just gonna make them, because if you punish them, they'll keep going back to the drug over and over again. Whereas they implemented this policy where they said, right, we'll decriminalise all these drugs. So if you're a heroin addict in Switzerland, you can walk into a clinic and take as much heroin as you want.
Surely that would kill them off, though. Wouldn't
No, it wouldn't, because medically pure heroin is basically morphine. Like, they will give you enough, they will give you as much as you want up to the point that it would kill you, basically.
Yeah. Right.
And you're not allowed to leave with it, and there's a nurse in the room while you take it, and they found that heroin addiction dropped by about 80% once they did that. And it's because it's like I said, it's not the chemical hook so much as it is just
the escape from reality.
Sort of feedback loop, if you will. You just keep going back into it, and then you run out of money, and your life gets worse, and blah blah blah. It keeps going. It's self-perpetuating. So that's my sort of argument for it.
I'm learning off this.
And it's the same for any drug, not necessarily heroin, but like any drug. If you either legalise it or decriminalise it, it has a net positive effect. Now, I would say I'm in favour, ultimately, of legalising all drugs.
Yeah.
Because while you still have it decriminalised, you still have sort of drug gangs and people will be selling it on the street. Whereas if it's fully legal, I mean, no one's going around like... It's like in Prohibition in the States.
Yeah.
During that time, you had people
bootlegging.
bootlegging, exactly, making all these fucking dodgy concoctions. You know, all this moonshine.
Oh my God, yeah.
There you go. And people were drinking it and going blind because it was like completely
Horrific.
unregulated.
Yeah, like pure ethanol type.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly. So once in the States it was the 21st Amendment that made alcohol legal again.
What year was that? Do you know? Or?
I don't know the exact
Was it
year.
like
Was it in
1920?
It was
Maybe the 20s or
It was
30s.
the early 1930s, I think. But yeah, you saw, you know, people are going to have the drug no matter what policies are in place. Always, that's always the case.
Always chasing that high
around it.
It's that's not a bad thing. You see it all over the fucking animal kingdom. You see, you know,
it's not just us,
monkeys eating fermented berries to try and get drunk. You know, stuff like that. You know, it's a natural thing for us to want to sort of alter our consciousness in a little bit. And I think, again, going back to it, this is my argument for legalising all of it, because while it's in the hands of these drug gangs, there's no regulation.
There's no safety, there's no testing.
There's no testing, no nothing. So there could be anything in that weed, crack, heroin, whatever. And that is, I think that also makes it work. That makes it a lot more dangerous as a drug.
Yeah.
Like I said, taking heroin off the street as opposed to taking it like medically pure heroin in a clinic.
Well, I think it's like
having abortion.
sharing needles, and that's a massive problem.
It's like having an abortion off like backstreet abortions, like so much
more dangerous. Yeah, exactly. So that.
It won't happen under this government, obviously. But I don't think it will.
Maybe not under the Tories. I think hopefully in the next 5
years,
if not 10. But we'll be doing this. We've got this campaign going. And we'll be in Hyde Park in London on 420. Set up a little stall, hand out flyers and such, and like get people so that get all these fucking stoners that we lying around smoking weed, being like, "Yo, you should care about this. It's good for you. It's good for all of us, really." But yeah, that should be fun. And obviously, I'm not going to say I will engage in any myself. Obviously not.
No. So that's So finally, we found an issue that we disagree on.
There we
Well,
go.
it's a we.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
So I don't know. I just
No, it's
it's always been a position I've held, and then I actually read about it, and I thought, oh, this is like the war on drugs has completely failed, and if anything, it makes drug problems worse in pretty much all societies here and in the US.
Drug use hasn't gone down; it's gone up, if anything.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it seems like the logical thing to do, and hopefully even the Tories will realise that. But
I don't know about that.
Like, it's my argument from an economic standpoint. If you legalise it, allow people to create businesses, create wealth, sell it. You know, then they can pay more taxes. Then government has more money and more. And then it's just like you say, it kind of helps. I'd rather see the money funded instead of, I say funding the police, funding the like police raids on a guy who's grown 12 fucking plants in his house. I'd rather see that like money put into, you know, helping people who are suffering from addiction.
That's what they did in Switzerland. All the money they got from that, from legalising it and sort of making it so that you can, and all the sort of tax revenue they got off that went straight back into these clinics helping people.
Yeah.
So it's at this point, I don't understand people's opposition to it at all. Like if you don't want to see drug problems in your society, legalise them so that it isn't a problem as such. You know, and I don't know. Have either of you been to like Amsterdam or somewhere where weed's actually legal?
I'm going.
When I was
You
6.
said. Yeah, okay. Well, no, you didn't.
Obviously, I didn't know anything about that then.
Didn't partake.
No.
But if you're smoking weed here, say it's just some, you know, you buy like a 10 bag off some guy on the street. That is it's going to be horrible. It's going to be like a bunch of shit mixed together. Maybe a little bit of marijuana in there if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But
If you're lucky.
yeah, it's
Oh dear.
so. Going there and alright, fine. I had a couple spliffs. What was that?
There's a police siren.
Yeah, oh shit, they're coming. But it's because it's regulated, and everything it's like alcohol. It's fully regulated system. There's no sort of paranoia or like sort of adverse effects that some people experience with weed here in the UK, and that's just because they're smoking skunk off the street. It's not going to be what you want from that drug.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that sort of the Netherlands, or at least
Back in
sort
the
of
Netherlands.
Switzerland, back in.
I'll get him on it,
yet.
too.
Yeah. Hopefully the next guest will have Marnik on. Or
Yeah,
Cock, as we call
Cock,
him.
yeah.
Cook.
Yeah. We'll have him to tell you about things in the Netherlands.
Yeah. But I think we're moving in the right direction, and I think that's all that matters. And hopefully, you know, sort of campaigns like the one I'm doing, and there are obviously many more, are pushing the good word, getting people educated. At this point, it's only boomers that are just like, I don't want my kids smoking weed. And I'm like, oh well, they actually wouldn't. They would smoke less weed if we made it.
I think it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Like, because my mum and dad are part of that generation of no drugs, no tattoos, no. You know.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh
then?
yeah, I broke one of them rules, yeah. You know, but I think we can probably say, well,
That was good.
on the sides of legalisation. But I understand your kind of reservations probably about people using it.
It's just reservations for me, yeah. Like, it's just, for me, them really hard drugs are just too, like, keeping them on the street is just really dangerous. Yeah, but, like, with marijuana, I think we should legalise it. I think I definitely agree with you. But for me, it's just something about the hard drugs that just doesn't sit right with me. But that's just. But I'd like to learn a lot. Like, I've learned a lot from this conversation.
I'll send you some stuff, man, because there's been a lot of research. I'll send you a little bit of heroin. Heat it up in a spoon. Try it out for
None
yourself.
of that cheese.
Yeah, straight from Switzerland.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Jesus. So we've done drugs then. So
well, not yet.
not yet. No. We've covered the topic of drugs.
Yes, we are.
Right. So bringing it back to you living in the United States then, the big thing at the moment is the Democratic run, or the Democratic race.
Yeah.
And with you being on the left side of the aisle, you can probably explain to the viewers at home, the five of them.
And us too, because obviously I'm not a big fan of the Democrats.
I'm more on the Republican side, so you can probably explain to people how the race is going at the moment.
And who are the candidates?
Yeah, who's for what.
You call me the left winger, but that almost means I don't support the Democrats. I like some of them. I'm quite sad that my boy Yang dropped out though.
I know,
Yeah, he
that was
dropped
my
out,
boy as well. I love Andrew.
As an American citizen, I was well looking forward to getting that $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
It would have been very nice, but like, oh
Andrew
well.
Yang.
I just hope that I think he's going to endorse Bernie if he hasn't already actually. But I would like to see him continue in politics because he
I think
actually
he'll
did
go
bring
far.
some good ideas to the table.
Yeah.
Even if I don't, entirely agree with his idea of UBI, Universal Basic Income. It was still good to. It's still good that people have heard of it now. People know
Well,
it
it's part
as
of
a
the
concept.
conversation.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was kind of on the fringes at the start, but now it's people are now talking about it and going, well, does it work? Does it not? Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm just happy that my backup candidate Bernie is doing very well.
Yeah.
Feel the bit.
Well,
For me, for Tom, for anyone watching that doesn't know, who are the other candidates who probably were in the running or that didn't even?
you got Mayor Pete who.
Pete Buttigieg?
Yeah, Pete
that's the
Buttigieg,
one, yeah.
who seems to just be going around saying I'm gay and therefore it's alright
Vote for me.
to be. Yeah, exactly. So
A vote for me.
I don't like him much at all. He's a bit of a neoliberal shill. No offence.
Not taken.
I'm generally not a fan of his at all, especially since he seemed to have. I don't know how successful it was, but he seemed to at least have tried to rig the Iowa caucus. Considering that one of his top donors was the guy who designed the app on which the votes were counted.
That's dodgy. That's
It's
some
quite dodgy.
Yeah, that's kinda,
Obviously, that could just be
A
coincidence, but considering how long it was stretched out before we even knew the results, and even now the results are mixed depending on who you are.
They're still sketchy, people,
Exactly.
There's still no definitive who won.
So, the sort of Mayor Pete came out and said, oh, look, he won by this %, and it turns out that wasn't the case at all. Bernie won the
Bernie's
popular vote.
going,
Yeah.
no, we won.
No, exactly. It's so. At this point, I don't know if it's Pete or if it's the DNC in general trying to fuck Bernie over like they did in 2016.
Yeah.
Got robbed in that election. Jesus
But
Christ.
he did get robbed, and I think he would have been a viable candidate against Trump then. I think he still would be now.
I think he still is.
I think in that 2016 election, right, if Bernie would have won the nomination, he would have won. Because to me,
I agree.
To me, the American election, it was a bit about Trump, but it was more people hating Hillary.
It was people hating Hillary.
She's probably one of the most
It
unpopular.
was people hating the
candidates.
establishment more sort of broadly,
Mm.
because people's lives hadn't improved under Obama in the last 8 years. So they said,
He hasn't changed, really.
so they said, right, I could vote for Hillary, but she's offering pretty much more of the same.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'll take a punt.
Fuck it up. I will, at this point, whatever,
Stuck in
I would
woods.
just completely go all the way out and vote for Trump.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he won. Whereas you got Bernie, he's offering ideas to the American people that are very popular.
Healthcare for one, yeah.
I mean,
Popular everywhere.
healthcare's actually probably one of the ones that people aren't as much of a fan of, because Americans hear healthcare and think socialism.
And that's it. I think
Oh,
it's
I don't agree
about-
with that.
And
I think-
it's stupid.
Is it 170 million of them are on private insurance plans?
Yeah.
And there's about 300 million.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not going to get into healthcare in the US because I'm pretty sure we can all agree it's fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like whatever side you're
That's
on,
horrific.
it doesn't work.
No.
At the way it is at the moment, it doesn't work.
No, you can't, give someone however much, like $25,000 bill for just, breaking their leg or something. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's really dumb.
The rates are ridiculous.
And it almost makes me not want to go back to the States in a way, because if I got sick or
If you break
something
your
while I was
foot, then
there,
no, dear.
I'd be in so much debt that I just couldn't afford. So obviously that I agree with Bernie on that. We'll need to wait and see if the actual American people agree with him on that.
Yeah.
But generally, he has really good. He seems to be doing very well, at least with the Dems. And I think he's the best opposition candidate to Trump. If we have someone like Biden going, he would get destroyed
He'd get
by
so
Trump.
rich.
He's a walking corpse.
He is. He's a walking corpse, and he seems to have fucking dementia or something going on, because he keeps making like weird noises during and like kissing
Like
his
some of our people in our
granddaughter on the
seminars,
lips.
really. Or
Yeah.
lectures.
Yeah. Or like Warren. would get rinsed by Trump. Like,
the first thing will
So
come out of his
backwards.
mouth, Pocahontas.
yeah,
That
exactly.
would be the first thing out of his mouth.
And I'm not. Yeah,
That's all he need to say, really.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the right thing to call it.
No,
by any
but
means,
No,
but that
no,
is
no.
what he would say.
Yeah, that's what it
As
comes out.
he-
Yeah.
he-
We know
can-
Trump all too well.
We've learned that he can say literally whatever the fuck he wants, and
And it works.
will be fine,
I
and he'll
think-
still have his foot.
Yeah.
And
His
is that
fans
much
go,
of
yeah, but God,
is
Like, yeah.
that much of a mud monster? You can throw whatever you want at him.
yeah, exactly. What are you gonna do?
And he bats it back.
Just go, yeah, fuck off. I don't give a shit.
I mean, that's basically what happened with the impeachment. He was like,
Oh, yeah.
whoops, I broke the law. Sorry.
I knew you were going to get impeached
I'm-
because of 2/3 of this.
I've been a very bad boy. I'll go sit on the
Sorry.
naughty step and then come back and still be president.
Man, he fucking hit that ball for 6, didn't he? Just
Yeah.
fucking fuck off.
Home run.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this. I mean, this is going to make me sound like I'm some fucking crying liberal SJW cuck, but how could he get away with it? And it's because we are getting to the point, I think, where we see the splinters and cracks in American politics and how it does.
why I don't-
won't
I
always
think
work.
it was
That's why I don't
coming.
really
I think it was
research it.
coming. I don't think it's necessarily true. I think it was coming. I think he's probably exacerbated it,
Mm.
but I think it was coming.
What was going like?
This kind of this split.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not. It's not even to do with sort of ideology or voters or anything like this. It's more to do with how the system is set up.
Yeah.
That it can allow something like that.
Yeah. yeah.
Like he goes, oh yeah, broke the law. Like,
Lol.
yeah.
Soz.
So, and just refusing to hand over any evidence or witnesses or whatever, and telling his staff in the White House to ignore all the subpoenas they were getting.
I guess so. He has the constitutional power to do it.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's the thing. Technically, neither article of impeachment was a crime. Technically. It wasn't
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
mean-
a high crime or misdemeanor.
and it was
I
the
think that's
issue
where
is
they
it was
fucked up.
it was a partisan issue. It was so
Yeah.
partisan in the States because like. The Republicans were never going to. I think what was it? Mitt Romney was the only Republican that
Oh,
voted
dear
against
God.
Trump for some reason. I
They're all
thought
calling
I'd get
him a
on
cock
alright,
now.
but
You're such a fucking
um,
cunt.
but yeah, it was clearly split down party lines,
Yeah.
and that's
That's
not justice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If we're going to hold
A leader
our
to
president,
account.
my president, to account, then we need to be doing it for the sake of justice. We can't be doing it because this is just another Dems versus Republican thing.
Yeah.
It'll get played out on the news, whatever. It's good, boost ratings for everyone.
Exactly. Fox will spin it one way, CNN will spin it another way, and
Mhm.
then people just
NBC
go, I
another,
can't be
yeah.
arsed with this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite disillusioning in a way because it's like, well, if we can't do that, like, what's the point of this whole system? And I think some people are starting to see that, and that's why there's going to be a communist revolution next year.
Hang on.
You heard it here
Hold on a
first.
second.
I called that shit. No, sadly there won't be because Americans are still very sort of content, like, with the system as it is for some reason. I think, having lived there and moved back, I can see from over here how fucked it is. If I was still living there, I'd be like, oh well, I guess that's just how it is. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think we need more people to be upset or angry about this,
Mm.
and we need some kind
More
of
awareness.
reform. Exactly. But yeah, God knows if we're going to see that. I can't trust Americans. Like, no offense to Americans, but you never know which way they're going to go because their brain works in a very different way to us here in the UK.
Yeah. So Biden's a walking corpse.
Yeah.
Bernie's probably got the best chance. Warren's fuck no. There's
You won't want to see
no
that.
way.
No.
Buttigieg isn't going to win because of the amount of evangelical Christians.
Yeah.
Just because he's gay. That as bad as it is, it just ain't that.
Did you see that thing the other day that was it was on Fox News, and it had Bernie polling at 26%,
Yeah.
and then three moderates all combined polling at 53%, and they were like, oh yeah, obviously the moderate's going to win.
No.
And it's like, no, you're
No,
not going to have
it's not how it
three
works.
presidents, are you?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Would you
so-
say that moderate lane's like proper like clogged up now?
I just love it when sort of Fox News and other, I mean, pretty much no American media outlet is by any means flawless. But
No, no.
it's when they make such obvious like fuck ups and like obviously are playing to their crowd, are playing to their audience. It's just funny to me. I'm like, oh, this is what people call news there.
Yeah. I must admit, like even being on the right, and I watch like some Fox News clips sometimes. I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah,
Some tripe on there.
Yeah.
and I mean, if you want to get into like the media system there, that's just the way it will always work, because all they need to do is fill up time between ads.
Yeah.
And so they will ramble about the most bullshit, like nonsensical stuff, and that's how you get, people on Fox News saying like, "Oh, did you know the left wants Santa Claus to be a woman?" And it's like, no one is saying that. No one is saying that. You're just blabbering because because news doesn't come out every day. There's not always going to be a massive story every day.
The news
So
cycle
you need to
gets
take up time.
Today, for example, there's absolutely nothing really.
Other than a cabinet reshuffle.
And
That's a
coronavirus,
bit
that's
boring.
been ongoing for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
That's literally it.
So it's and luckily with our the BBC has its issues, but it's a damn sight better than anything America has to offer.
Oh no, I agree with
It's
that.
I mean, it is held up to be the sort of broadcasting standard. That is like the gold standard of what you want to achieve as a news network.
Yeah.
And it can still be improved, but quite a lot.
Oh no, I agree. But I would rather have that any day, because at least they're not just blabbering about nothing, trying to get their viewers riled up. Like we're the left or the right. So I don't know. It's just the way it will always work as long as they have that system. As long as they are just making time for ads, and it's also you get less of a say there. If you say I had this. I noticed this with Yang.
Yeah.
Right, going back to him.
My
He's
boy.
dropped out now.
You've got fuck all media
But
coverage.
that's the thing. His ideas take a lot of explaining, right? Like UBI, you hear it and it's like, oh great, everyone's getting free money.
Yeah.
This is rent's gonna go up. All
You
this
have to go into all
is
the
gonna
details
happen.
and all the things.
Exactly.
With it, yeah.
And
People
you
don't
can't
start
do
time
that
for
on
it.
American news because they're
Just
going to be
5 minute
like,
snippets.
it's like, yeah, you've got 2 minutes, right? Make your case, then we're going to cut to ads,
Yeah.
right? Whereas here you've got, you've at least got more time
Airtime,
to explain yourself, and
You get a lot more coverage in this country than you would then. Like in America.
Yeah. And the BBC have podcasts and stuff, and it's like long form.
Got that one to start.
So long form interviews are a lot better if you're a politician because it really gives you time to explain yourself.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Or it gives you time to hang yourself.
Yeah. It's like,
you go on Andrew Neil and you just get bent over straight away.
like Ben Shapiro.
I watched that the other day and
That is a hard watch. I have to say, it's very
For me,
funny. But
doesn't respect Ben Shapiro. I think that was hard to watch. I thought he was just going to get. There was no happy ending coming out of that for Ben Shapiro. At all.
It's because he's used to talking to like high schoolers.
Dumb American.
Yes.
And like he's got all these facts facts like what you think's a fact anyway, printed out on this sheet, and he's talking to high schoolers who don't have the facts at their hand. So like he's able to destroy leftist SJW.
I must
That's
admit, that kind of.
And then he comes here and he talks to an actual broadcaster and he's like, I'm not going to answer that question.
It's like,
No, I can. And he says
No comment.
Andrew Neil, he's like, no, I can tell you're a leftist. It's like, no, he's not. He's literally a Tory.
That's not how it works. It's not how it works in the UK. It's completely different. So
I think we're a lot more nuanced over here.
Yeah.
We're a lot more kind of like, yeah, we disagree, but so what? Americans like, I want to fucking kill you.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Increasingly, we're seeing that more in British politics as well.
Yeah.
To be fair,
we're not there
especially
yet, but-
since
We're not that-
Brexit. But obviously, we're not at the American point. But we are seeing our country getting more divided. I think.
Hell yeah.
Where there are
Like even the last election.
for sure last election, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and it's really damaging because it doesn't allow us to focus on what is best for the country. You're going right, so I'm voting Tory, and the Tories think this.
Yeah.
Therefore, I think this.
Yeah.
You need to
Make up your
you
own
need to
mind.
think for yourself, exactly. And I think we need more. I mean, I'm by far not the first person to say this.
Yeah.
Just more sort of dialogue. We need I'm able to be sat here with you two.
Exactly.
We don't agree on a lot of shit,
No.
but we're still talking.
We're
That's the
having-
point.
exactly, yeah.
We're still talking.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like, and it's not a left or right issue because the right would go, "Oh, you're a commie, whatever, blah blah blah." The left would go, "Oh, you're a fascist." It's just,
Yeah,
That gets nowhere, does it?
it gets nowhere.
No.
No,
that's not going to help nobody. Is it?
Name calling doesn't.
it's just name calling. It's complete ad hom, and it doesn't help either side out. Like if
Yeah.
you're a leftist calling someone a fascist, unless they are literally, have a swastika on their body.
Yeah, other names.
All you're
Yeah.
doing is turning them off of your ideas and making them less likely to listen to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's a sad state of affairs in
Oh,
the world
yeah,
at the
It's
minute.
just that
Yeah.
state of politics.
And that's the thing. The fact
I
that
think it'll just get worse.
the fact that everyone agrees on that is not a good sign.
No, yeah.
No matter which side of the
Yeah,
sort of
I
political
think-
spectrum you're on, everyone agrees the world's going to shit. Except maybe Nigel Farage, who's waving Union Jacks in the EU Parliament, but
Yeah, I'll say the Queen.
yeah, all that.
He defo went back and had a wank after that.
Oh mate, he was
Yeah,
loving it.
yeah,
Mate,
100%.
he
Oh,
bashed,
he
I'm
loves
surprised
that.
he didn't bash one out while I was there. Just like the ultimate fuck you, like.
Yeah. Go on, my son.
Did you notice actually we didn't get invited to the recent coronavirus meetings at the
Of course
EU
we-
Parliament?
We left.
Oh yeah.
We're out, mate. We're out.
I know exactly.
But now,
Fuck now.
and now
We've
we have
fucked
no
it.
say. It's almost as if someone could have foreseen that.
Bloody coronavirus.
So that's the biggest thing in the news at the moment, the coronavirus.
Yeah,
So, you're a big fan of China, aren't you?
Yeah, you've actually been to China. We've never been.
I have been to
Is that-
China. I went
Yeah.
last year before coronavirus was an issue.
I think.
Before
And I was
before it
cool.
Before
Worst
people
part
knew that we were
is-
eating bats.
Yeah.
I was planning on going back this year, and now I can't. So I've had to cancel my holiday plans.
Did you
to
ever have bat
Shanghai.
soup?
I never had. But I had.
Oh,
What did I
I
have?
was gonna say I've run out there.
I had.
Quarantined in here.
I had fried bullfrog, which was interesting.
Fried.
That sounds actually
and
not too bad.
squid on a stick, which was
Oh,
actually
maybe
very
not.
nice.
Actually, yeah, squid's alright.
Squid's banging, yeah.
Squid's alright.
It was like covered in little spices and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I do like parts of China in terms of how
Parts.
it works. Obviously, I'm not a very authoritarian guy. I don't really believe in the state looking over all of us, and that is
Yeah.
something China has got going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xi Jinping, yeah.
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 But on the other hand, I didn't see any homeless people while I was in China. Not one.
Probably all dead.
Probably get killed off, yeah,
Yeah,
dragged
sent
off
to
the
a
street and
prison
shot.
camp,
No, but it's because China's doing the right thing in that regard. It's giving its people basic human rights that we're not even guaranteed here in the UK. There's not a right to housing here. There is there, everyone
Would you say
seems
that
to be
the
healthy.
quality in housing is different? Or I mean, I
Oh
don't know.
yeah. I mean, like compared to how we live, if we,
Yeah.
like going there, it's like, oh, these people live like this, Jesus. But like,
Yeah.
It's like a roof.
but it's
Yeah.
it's
And
no,
walls.
it's not. I mean, like any house. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you got like standing.
It's got a wall.
Yeah,
I've been, right, I've been done dirty. I've been done dirty there. Oh.
But they don't live in as much unless you're like one of these Chinese billionaires, which again is another reason I don't like China. They allow sort of billionaires to exist, and people still call them a communist country. So it doesn't make it. It's very
I
much
think
state
their
capitalism.
economy is capitalist, but the political structure is communist. I'd say. Ish.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's definitely authoritarian,
Oh yeah.
whether you want to
Hmm.
call it communist or not. But
Well, Communist Party.
On the way, yeah.
I mean, I personally would, and this is because I'm a fucking leftist nut job. I wouldn't mind my house getting a little bit worse if it meant everyone could live in a house.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Mm.
I think that it's. I would rather look out for fellow people. If I would still have a place to stay, and that's all I really need. Like as long as you've got somewhere to live. I'm perfectly happy. I don't need to have some massive, fuck off mansion to be happy. And so yeah, China's doing a lot of stuff right, and they've handled the coronavirus situation really well, in my opinion.
What, like the quarantining off, like Wuhan?
Quarantining off Wuhan.
I think they've done that right.
They built a hospital in 11 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, we saw that. We said that in the last
Yeah,
night.
Yeah.
That's daft.
Yeah, that's.
That is.
That's
wow.
incredible,
Aye, aye, aye.
and that's just the power. That's what you can do when
See-
you're China, and you have the government's all yours.
See here, it
You
would
can
take 11
completely
months.
allocate
Yeah.
public
Yeah.
resources as you want.
Mm.
Yeah.
and that's why there's not been a revolt in China.
Other than Tiananmen Square.
Well, yes. I mean,
That's
since
the only
then,
one, really.
Well,
but
nothing happened, did it?
no. It's a
yeah.
fictional event. So.
Never happens. Fake news.
But I mean, that's what you can do when you have this sort of all of the funding and power in one body.
Yeah.
You can put up a hospital in 11 days, mate. What did the Conservative government put up like in its entire tenure in the last 10 years?
Oh,
I think it was like
I don't even want to know.
4.
Yeah.
It was something. It was really low, and that's just because of the constant sort of infighting and people bickering about where to put resources and such. So I do respect China for that. But yeah, I obviously don't agree with everything.
Yeah.
But it is. I mean, it's just a wonderful country. I think
Culture's amazing.
But no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So the reason they haven't had
history.
the reason they haven't had like a revolt, the reason the Chinese people are happy there, is because they are raised there to think that democracy is bad. It's inefficient. It's really, and you can see that in how we've managed to put up, very few hospitals, and they put up one in like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Because they're raised to think, if you have elections every 4 or 5 years, it just means there's going to be a different government that's going to undo everything the last government did, and just going to have this back and forth forever. Nothing really gets done. Whereas you have one single power, which again I'm not massively in favour of, but this is what they're taught. It's just a lot. They take care of everything, right? You, the average Chinese citizen, don't need to worry about it. You don't need to think, oh, who am I going to vote for?
You don't need. Exactly. You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. And sort of, this person's saying this, and I need to find the person that not necessarily agrees with me, but I agree with the most. It's like the lesser of two evils, and that's very much looked down upon there. So yeah, I mean, I could go either way with China, but I am a bit more of a fan of it than I assume you two are, and most of my mates are.
So if it weren't for this coronavirus going, I'd love to go.
Yeah,
my mum's been, and it was her favourite holiday. Yeah, so she absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah, Shanghai is just brilliant. And even like I didn't stick around the big cities. We went to some tiny little village that I think was like it was all one family there. It was like one big family taking up this village.
Right.
And I think it was the family of our tour guide, so that's why we went there. Even these people living out in villages that aren't in the sort of metropolitan centres are still living reasonably well. I mean, it might look somewhat shoddy to us because we're used to a certain idea of how people live in the West, but they're living perfectly happy lives. They're very content people. I never had them. No one's complaining. Oh, I don't know. We haven't got a pool in the back. So I think I don't know if I prefer it. I mean, I don't know. There's not one country in the world that I'm like, yes, they're doing it right.
I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody's got it perfect. No matter
definitely, every country's got its pros and cons.
The aisle that you sit on, everyone's got the problem. Do you reckon this coronavirus is actually going to turn into a proper world kind of epidemic, or do you reckon it's just going to be a passing fad kind of thing?
I mean, part of me wants it to.
I wasn't expecting that answer.
No, it's cool. It's like you're living out the apocalypse. It's nice. It's what everyone wants.
If you don't have it.
Mate, otherwise I've been stockpiling masks for no reason.
To be fair, I think everyone's probably dreamt one day, what if actually wasn't an apocalypse? Yeah.
This might be it.
But
well, there's confirmed cases in London now, isn't there? And then
the
MP,
and they got an Uber there.
Yeah, they got a fucking Uber there. I'm like, oh my god,
dear God.
you idiot. Oh.
Yeah, no.
Boss man, I got coronavirus. Give me us up in 5 minutes.
I've got a mate in London who's stockpiling masks and air rifles.
Oh dear. Air rifles?
In case he needs to fight off the coronavirus hordes.
Oh yeah, There's definitely a zombie.
To be fair,
case of
I
him.
don't blame him. I really don't blame him for the masks.
He's gonna make his house into a
Air rifles, not
fortress.
so sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Dear
it's not ideal to be fair, and I'd probably die because I have asthma. So it's like,
Ooh.
no.
Hey.
So-
There's more recovered cases than killed cases. That's what the news don't want to say. There's more people that are more. Oh yeah, it's there's double or even more the amount of people that have recovered from it.
Oh no, dude! Like it has a lower fucking death rate than
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the common cold.
Yeah,
Yeah. But they're
It's,
just making it because it's a new thing
It's a new thing,
and it's foreign.
and it's come from China,
Oh,
bloody immigrants.
Bloody hell! Yeah, get them out.
And the worst part of the whole thing is a lot of not even Chinese. But I've got a mate who's Thai.
They're getting abused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
you see
someone
Delhi
went by him was just like covering off his face like that.
Oh,
It's just not needed,
so
is it?
it's so stupid.
Did you see-
there was a guy actually in Sheffield who got attacked for it.
Got attacked?
Yeah, he got. There were a Chinese exchange student, and he actually just got fully attacked for it.
That's exactly.
There was a-
And that's
Why?
that's
That's
the
just-
effects of this media
Yeah.
sensationalism is just it's like
It's just
these
disgusting.
Chinese people coming over and bringing their coronavirus, like taking our jobs, whatever it is. The same old rhetoric. It's like they are
Yeah.
coming to us.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what- yeah.
There was a professional footballer mocking it, and I think he's been fined. He apologised, but I don't think it's not on.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just- I think
no,
for that, I think it's
Jeez.
disgusting.
Nah.
Yeah,
Should be concentrating on fighting it, not ostracising people.
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
helping them, not like
Not at all, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
bad.
Also, I think face masks are kind of badass because everyone in
With
China,
different
well,
designs.
not everyone, but like
yeah,
you,
kind of, yeah.
the sort of etiquette with it is because you're in these like packed cities.
Yeah.
If you have a cold or something like that, you wear
Yeah,
a
you don't
mask.
want to infect
You don't
anybody
wear it
else.
the rest of the time, really.
Yeah, the Japanese do the same thing.
Yeah,
Exactly. Because it's
Tokyo,
so
yeah.
crowded, you don't really want to. If someone gets something, it will just go around like that, and they know that.
Yeah.
So they would they'll
Fair,
wear
why don't
masks.
we do it?
Yeah,
There's not
exactly.
there's not many
I think it's
people
quite cool.
compared to them, but like yeah, I
So
know
you
what
can
you
get
mean.
you can get like Gucci ones and stuff.
Yeah,
you can get
yeah,
like some sick looking face
I see
masks.
people like
LV.
big ones and everything.
Mm.
I'm like, fucking hell,
Yeah,
sick.
exactly. It's a look. I
Fashion
reckon.
icons.
I came back with one as well, but I think I lost it. I was.
Oh, gutted, mate. Gutted.
No, it's kind of I don't know. It's an interesting look. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just I am a big fan of China, but more of a big fan of Chinese people than
Yeah.
China itself.
Then
if that
China.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
I get that.
Because they're super hospitable people. I think it helps that I'm a Westerner, but but they would always like happily, buy you a drink,
Yeah.
let you come round for food if you wanted, like anything, man.
I still think that's a misconception that, again, a lot of the media put around. It's like, oh, well, they're other people from other countries. And then you actually talk to them and you're like, these people are alright.
No,
Yeah, they're
so
not these
sound,
assholes
man.
that hate all the Westerners. It's like, no.
No, not at all. Like even though they sort of, like I said, have been brought up to think democracy doesn't work, that doesn't mean they hate
Yeah.
Hate the
white
West.
people in the
They hate the
world.
West.
Yeah.
But the inverse is true. Is that we think, oh, these commies, right?
Yeah.
So at least, maybe not so much here, but at least in the States, it's like, oh, this is a communist threat, blah blah blah, whatever. Whereas they don't give a fuck. They're like, yeah, cool, you're doing your own thing, we're doing our thing.
Yeah.
That's fine. And it's America just going, oh, communism's out to get us. It's like, like they're just let them live their life, innit?
Yeah, exactly,
Just
mate.
leave
Yeah.
everyone- That's
Yeah.
why libertarian. Just leave everybody alone. Just
Yeah.
let them do their own thing. Don't give a shit.
I mean, I'm libertarian, but probably the other side of
Yeah,
libertarian.
Yeah.
Socialist libertarian, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure we share many ideas, sort of anti-authoritarian government
Yeah.
sentiments, which is
Mm.
good, I suppose. And you're a fascist.
Communist.
So I think we've covered the world there, haven't we? Brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
Have we
definitely.
got anything left, Billy, that you want to bring up, talk about? I think we might disagree on anything, I don't know.
well,
Anything you got going mind?
I need to go and meet my friend for a drink in about half an hour. So I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah,
say
that's
we
fine.
covered the works, and
We've still got the quiz, mate. So we can.
Yeah.
That'll be enough time for the quiz. That only takes 10-15 minutes,
There's
and
a
you'll win.
quiz.
And you'll win. There's a quiz,
Literally,
mate. There's a
It's
quiz.
10
clearly I haven't watched
questions,
this
that's
podcast to the end.
it. It's just 10 questions, but honestly, I
Ah,
think
you'll-
we've covered the world.
Yeah, I've not
Please.
won one yet, so yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you should.
Right,
You-
what's-
your odds are in your favour. So.
Alright, what's this quiz then?
Let's
You got the
just
question?
We'll do
ten
an
que-
intermission.
10 yeah, we'll do an intermission. 10 questions. Whoever gets the most, that's it.
Yeah.
Easy.
But yeah,
Brilliant.
you can have a free beer at the beer thing.
That's the pro.
That's very good.
You win, you can have a free beer. So there you go. You're most likely to win anyway.
Right.
So there you go.
Cheers, mate.
Right.
That's
Yeah, so you'll
No.
win one day.
Let's see if today's today.
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching through now, and
Thank
we'll
you
see you
very
later in the quiz.
Cheers, guys.
Welcome back to the quiz, guys. So 10 questions as per usual, but we actually have got a prize this week, and it's a free beer out of my box in the corner because I've got
Beer
shit on.
52.
Yeah.
Have we got that sponsorship yet?
It's coming. Yeah, it's
It may as well
coming.
be.
It's coming. It's coming. Well, yeah, 10 questions. Whoever answers it quickest gets a point. Easy stuff.
I'm not ready for this.
Right, so it's a politics quiz. I managed to find a bit of a politics one. So, start.
Wait. Is it quickest answer first?
Yeah, quickest one, so just fire it out. So, question number 1. Who was the British Prime Minister in 1994?
John Major.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So, keep track of your own scores.
Cool.
1-0.
1-0. Yes.
Right. Oh, fucking hell. Which politician formed the French National Front in 1972? They're still around today. But,
We're in the pen.
yes. There you go.
No.
She was about to say,
Yeah.
I didn't.
She's
that
a
was
boomer, holy
complete
fuck.
guess.
She was about in 72.
Fucking hell.
What the? Because I was thinking that, and I'm like, is it? Nah, surely not. I didn't.
I
Oh,
thought it
should
was
have
gonna be
just said
a
it.
stupid answer, but
Yeah.
really not.
I thought she was quite a nice boomer as fuck. Alright, 1-1.
Right, 1-1. So,
Fair play, fair play.
political aide Alistair Campbell was best known as the Director of Communications and Strategy for which British Prime Minister?
Tony Blair.
Yeah, really got it.
Two bit.
So that's 2-1. Right. In UK politics, who defeated Ted Heath in the Tory leadership campaign of 1975?
Michael Foot.
You saying Michael Foot? What are you saying?
I've got it wrong.
Oh, well, it was Margaret Thatcher, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why the fuck you saying Michael Foot?
Oh, it's the wrong
Labour
one.
leader.
Oh no, I've had a
She wasn't
mare.
Prime Minister then.
I
but
thought
that's-
Ted Heath was a fucking
That's when she became.
shit.
Yeah,
the
I
thought Ted Heath was
Tory-
Conservative. Fuck.
Yeah. Easy.
Because I've done my revision.
Jesus God, what's that, 3-1?
Oh dear, that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3-1, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. In May 1940, who became British Prime Minister after the resignation of Neville Chamberlain?
Winston Churchill.
That was literally spot on.
Yeah, to be fair.
Is that a point each?
Yeah,
Yeah,
give
go on.
it-
Yeah, go on then, yeah, go on
give
then,
point
yeah.
each on that one. That was literally the exact same thing.
Getting heated in
Okay,
here.
now.
I am actually sweating. I'm sweating my tits off, right?
It's tense, it's tense.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Which European Prime Minister officially resigned on the 16th of November 2011? European Prime Minister.
Oh.
2011.
Sarkozy?
You saying Sarkozy? What are you saying?
I was going to go with Sarkozy as well, but he beat me to it, so if that's the right answer.
It's
not.
wrong.
It's
It's
wrong.
not. Whenever he does that, it's always wrong.
Silvio Berlusconi.
Oh, right, yeah.
One of the...
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
Wow.
it was later than
With
that.
his
Fair.
bunga
It's around that,
it's around
that
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Right, no
2010,
points.
2012
No
area, yeah.
point.
Right, next one. The conflict between rival political factions, the Girondins and the Jacobeans during the French Revolution was known as the Reign of what?
Terror.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
easy.
I had no idea
I
it was all that.
butchered that
The
pronunciation,
Jacobins.
but
Ja-
yeah,
Jacobians,
yeah,
Jacobians,
yeah,
yeah.
Jacobians. There you go. I didn't do French. I did Spanish.
I did French, I can't remember a thing.
Oh, butcher this name and all. Right, Carlos Menem, Menem, was president of which South American country in July 1989?
Bolivia.
Chile.
Both wrong. It's Argentina.
It's more obvious than we thought. More obvious than we
I
thought.
think that's post-military junta dictatorship.
Mm.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Chile because I didn't.
Yeah.
Know.
Wait, so is that who we went to war with?
What?
No?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I should have known that.
Well, I was 83. Falklands War.
Is that when he stepped down or stepped up?
Step down.
I was made president.
Or mid president.
Yeah,
mid-
Oh, maybe not, I don't think.
It's the one
No,
after.
it was 82, that was Falklands War, wasn't it?
Yeah. Rosalind Smith is married to which former US president?
Oh god, Rosalind.
Jimmy Carter.
Boom.
Was it actually?
Yeah. We got it. Was that a fucking guess?
That was a complete fucking guess.
Oh my god.
He's gone. He's gone.
I'm actually fucking fuming, mate. I'm actually living.
That was a complete.
Yeah,
How the
I was trying to go through
Our 45
all the first
presidents.
ladies that I know, and then I was like, that's the.
If I lose this, I don't care. That win. You should just win because of that.
Fucking hell.
Honestly,
I didn't think you would get that.
That was a 1 in 45 chance.
I was waiting to give a clue, like, is it Democrat? I was waiting to give a clue.
Straight in there, mate. I don't care.
I wasn't, honestly, I still couldn't give my answer now. Fuck's sake, man.
Alright, go on.
I don't want to continue. I want to jump out that window after this.
I think we've got 2 questions left.
Great. So I need to win both of them.
Right, which London mayor declared war on pigeons in Trafalgar Square in year 2000?
It's Ken Livingstone.
Boom.
Oh, then you won. That's another loss for me.
That's alright, we'll just do the last question.
Last one, yeah, why not?
Here, go on.
Right, okay.
Get the shovel out.
Who was inaugurated as South Africa's first black president in
Mandela.
1994?
No, that was what? You didn't.
A disabled
I
point.
thought it was going to be
A disabled point, yes.
I thought it was going to be a slightly more difficult question, to be honest.
I mean, it's the
It's
last
the only ones I
question
can
to
get.
say.
It's the only ones I can get.
But, yeah.
I do not mind losing after
Well,
that.
you know what?
But, yeah.
It was
Grab a
close.
beer,
It was close.
I'll-
Winner
Cheers.
chicken. Winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
There
Do you
go,
know what?
Billy. So you've still not won one yet.
Hey, it'll be soon. It'll be soon.
It's
That's some
coming,
bullshit
it's coming.
answer. Fucking
But,
Jimmy
yeah.
Carter.
But yeah, how the fuck did you?
That was a stab in the dark and a payoff. But yeah, you've now witnessed how little we both know about world events.
We're only doing that course.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
No, thank you so much for watching, guys.
Hope you haven't turned off by
Billy
now.
for coming on as well.
Thanks for
Thank
having me,
you
man.
very
It's been
much.
fun. It's been an interesting.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man.
for
Real
sure.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, I hope to be back on.
But yeah,
in the
I'm
not
back
too
on very
distant
soon.
future.
Yeah, you get a free beer anyway. You get a free
Brilliant, I appreciate
Pick
it.
and mix.
Anyway, thank you.
beer. No, but thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you next time.